Okay, so let's continue. So we have something like this. Some of you may not have yours perfectly, I mean, like mine, or in terms of the arrangement, but at least for the description, the point label description for ground level, you have the raw description and what? And the elevation. That's what we wanted to do. So do we all have it? You have the raw description and the elevation. Please, do we all have it? And I showed you that you can, assuming that, for example, we don't want to see the elevation. All that we want to see is what? The raw description. We can go to where we went, the text composer, and turn the visibility and turn this one off. Please, are we okay? Okay. Now what I want us to do is that let's go back to settings. Let's go back to settings. Now when you go back to settings, you know, when we're creating the label, when we're editing the label for the ground level, because we did not know, you are not up to this, but you've imported the points. So if you've imported the point, you can still follow. You've imported the point. What we are doing is an editing, so you can leave it as it is. We'll try and fill in the gap later on. So I'm saying that we were not very sure of the label name, the point label style name, so that's why we went to the description key set. Then under description key set, the code for my GL, went to the code for GL, and we're able to identify the label style, and it was originally raw description. We created a new one called GL description. Now when you create a new one, the GL description will come under label style. So next time you want to go, you don't need to necessarily go to description key set. Under label styles, you see that you have GL description. Please, do you have it there? So just double click on it. Or for you who you claim you don't have, my sister, so what I want you to do for me is that just right click on raw description. Where is raw description? Right click on raw description and copy. Do you understand? Are you there? Under label styles. Okay, then let's continue. So go to GL description, then please double click. Please, have we double clicked? Now what I want you to do for me is that, you know, the component, we created two components, or we added one to what was there. Originally it was only raw description, and we added elevation. I'm sure we are okay with this. We can add, we can delete, we can edit. So what I want us to do is that the elevation, let's leave everything as it is. Then let's go to raw description. Go to raw description, then the content. The content, let's enter. So are you there? Are you following? Okay, so where you are seated, okay, don't worry, you will get there but you've imported your points, no problem. So we'll continue. When we come to surface, you'll continue with us later. We'll see how we can help you. Okay, so content, raw description. Please, are we all here? I'm sure we can all come here. Please, are we all here? So you see, you have raw description. I was telling you earlier on that you can have a number of properties or components all put together. So after raw description, let's assume that we'll have it into bracket, then we'll have the elevation. So into bracket, then we come to properties, elevation. Where is it? Point elevation, then add bracket, then I'll add an M to it, bracket close. Have you been able to do something like this? Still under raw description, I open a bracket, then I add elevation. You can add so many things here, just all belonging to one component. Have you gotten it? Okay, I went to under component name, raw description, the text content, raw description. That you click the button, this button, then after raw description, I open a bracket, or I maybe leave a space, open bracket, then properties, I add point elevation, This is add. If I say add, this is what I mean. The arrow pointing to the right. I click on it. After the elevation, I end with M, then bracket close. Have you been able to do it? Please, have you been able to do it? Please, have you all been able to do it? It's very, very simple. So if you've done it, just click on OK. OK, OK, and let's see how it will appear like. Do you have something like this? Do you have something like this? The description and elevation in bracket. Do you have it? Okay. Dominic and his team, do you have it? Do you have it? It may not look like mine, but at least you have the description and the elevation in brackets. That's what I want to know. Please, do you have it? I'm able to do it. It's clumsy. Yes, but do you have it? You have the elevation in bracket. No problem. So it means that you did not put it in bracket. Please, I will be able to do it. Okay, no problem. What we are is editing is style. So at the end of the day, we will turn it off. Our final presentation, all these will be turned off. So if you've not been able to do it perfectly, don't worry. Let's still continue. Are we okay? As we progress, we will still be coming to this text composer, and I'm sure by the end we'll be able to appreciate it. Are we okay? So let's continue. If not, because this particular the text composer, we can spend a whole day trying to treat or understand it. Okay, so we have something like this. Now, please can I continue? Please can I continue? I'm going back to the GL description, and I'm going to turn off this other one, the elevation, the component name elevation, so that I only have the raw description. So I go to elevation and visibility, I turn it to false. So I have only this. Please, do you have it? I've been able to do it. Now, click on any of them. Click on any label. For example, if I look at mine, if I click on this, you see where my label is and where my point is. You see, it's not the best. So I can still go back and try to do some editing in terms of where it ought to be, bring it down a little, then I may have it in line. Are we okay? So we can leave that one and continue. So now, having done with this, what we want to do is what we have done will have no effect on the surface. It's just, a label style. So once you can understand what it is, that's the most important thing. Please, are we okay? Now, one good thing also with AutoCAD Civil 3D is that if you leave the cursor on any component, there will be a pop-up of some properties of that particular component. So for example, if I leave the cursor on this point, you realize that the point number, the style, the layer, the easting, northing, elevation, everything has come there for me. Please, are we okay? So even if I did not include the elevation, but I still want to have an idea of the elevation of this point, I just have to leave my cursor on it. Then I will see it. Can you see the elevation? 319.310 meters. So if yours is not appearing as you want it to, but at least you can put your cursor on it and be able to know what the elevation is. Please, can we continue? Okay, now the next stage is we are going to create a surface. Let's please get this very well, because the surface, so my sister, the name Ama or Abba. Ama, sister Ama. So Ama, you can continue from here. All that we have done, don't worry. We'll try and before we finish, you'll be able to do it. So let's all, please, are we all here? Do we all have figures and points? don't worry about the label styles. If we all have figures and points, then we can proceed. The next thing we are going to do, the creation of the surface, is very important. If your surface is wrong, automatically it will affect your design in terms of your profile, your earthworks. Please, are we okay? So it's very important that you make sure that your surface is correct. Sometimes you may have some points with abnormal elevations in there, which you may have to zoom in and make sure that they are correct. Sometimes you may have to ignore them, or if you know what the actual elevation is, you may want to edit it. Please, are we okay? Very good. So, but you realize that we have so many points. The question is, do we need all the points to develop a ground model or to develop a surface? Do we need all the points to develop a surface? No. Some of the points may be artificial points. For example, if you take building, we may not be very sure where the target was placed. It could be that it was placed, maybe there was a foundation or something. So it was placed not on the ground, but maybe on the foundation or somewhere. We may not be very sure where it was positioned, the target. Please, are we okay? If you take something, for example, electric pole. Similarly, electric pole, yes, it's from the ground, but we are not very sure where the surveyor positioned his target. It could be that because of visibility, they had to raise, because we are only interested in the location in plan, not the elevation per se. So points that we need to form surface from normally are the cross sections. That's the ground levels. So the ground level, that is why the surveyor also picks ground levels. So the ground levels, then the road itself. The road has road edge. Maybe if you also have shoulders, whatever, you include them. Shoulders, road edge, center line, and what? Yes, both edges, the left, the right, and the center. The culvert, it could be that it was the headwalls that were picked, not on the road itself. So we will ignore the culvert. Are we okay? If we have, for example, river, we can include the river. But if, for example, we have an existing road, if you include the river, what will happen is that when it gets to where the river is, there will be a drop. You understand? There will be a drop there. But that's not how the road, your interest is the road. If, for example, there's no road, there's no existing road, then we want to see the river in terms of the cross section and put in our profile. I don't know if you are getting the picture. So depending on the situation, but if in this case an existing road, so invert level will ignore invert level. If not, we'll be having drops wherever there's a culvert. There will be a drop there. What it means is that at the end of the day, our earthworks, the volumes will be higher than the normal. Please, are we getting it? Because wherever there is an invert, it will also have to compute from there. But we are only interested in the existing road profile or existing ground profile. So that's what. So we are going to form surface from codes such as the road, the RD, the CL, the center line, the GL, ground level, then what again? I think these are the ones we are going to form, use to form surface. So, but you realize that the point that we imported, the group that we imported, contains all the codes. Please, are you getting it? It includes all the codes. So what we are going to do is that we are going to create, another point group. A point group which will contain only points with codes that we are going to use to develop our surface. Please, are we okay? There are so many ways. Somebody can also in this particular group, he can exclude points with codes that he doesn't want to use. Please, do you understand? But I will recommend that create a new group. So let's right click on point group. So Amma, you can continue with us. Please right click on point groups and click on new. Please, are we all there? New. If you are left behind, let us know. New. So the name, let's call it a surface data or surface point. Surface data or surface points. Have we finished? Now, you see that there are a number of tabs here. Point group. Under prospector, go to prospector under 2 space. Click on prospector. You have points, then point groups. Have you seen it? So right click on point groups and new. Then you rename it as surface point or surface data or ground data, however you want to call it. Can I continue? Okay, so now you have a number of buttons here. There's one button, the last button called point list. Please click on it and let's see what is there. When you click on point list, what do you see? There is nothing there. So it means that this point group that we have created, now point group is almost like, let's say, a folder. You know, if you take a folder contains files. So in this case, the point group is the folder and the files are the points. Please, are we okay? So now we have created a folder, but it contains no file. It's an empty folder. So that's why there is nothing here. So we are going to populate it with points, with groups, with codes that we want to use to create our surface. Please, are we okay? Good. So go to include. If I'm moving slow, so if you are lost, please look on the screen. Include. Please, are we there? So include. Please, the last but one checkbox. Here we have with raw description matching. Can you see it? So turn it on. Turn it on. Please, have you turned it on? You see that when you turn it on, the box is active for you to input something. So go there, and we are going to type in the codes that we are going to use to populate this particular point group. So we are going to first use our road edge. If you remember the road edge, some were RD, RB, R whatever. So we are going to use just R asterisk. Once it's R asterisk, means that whether it's RD, RB, RQ, RD, whatever, it will still pick it. Please, are we okay? Or if you want to put all of them there too, the choice is yours. But just put RD asterisk, then comma. Then what other code again? What other code again? CL. Okay, CL. Now the CL, we are not very sure if all the CLs are CLs. Sometimes the surveyors, they may add something to the CL, maybe the change. So for peradventure, we may never know. Let's just add an asterisk to it. Well, if there's something after it, fine. If there's nothing after it, too, fine. Please, are we okay? So CL, then comma, then what again? GL. Good. The GL too, let's add an asterisk to it. In this particular data, you see there's a file, a point called GLF. That's ground level that were picked in farms. So I told them to code it GLF. So at least when we are doing the design, we have an idea that, okay, there's a farmland here. So you know how to save it and minimize property impact. So GL asterisk. Then what again? Is that all? I think that is all for now. So just these three, the R, the CL, and GL asterisk. Now go back to point list and let's see what is there. Go back to point list and you should see something. If you see nothing, that means that you've done nothing. Have you been able to do it, or you are now doing the installation? You are there. Okay. So okay, you are not there. Amma, please, are you here? So you have your points. Good. Please, who is not having this? If you don't have it, that means that under include you type nothing. Please, you have it. Good. So please, can we continue? Yes.
Here I have the $sign.
Dollar sign. What do you mean dollar sign with asterisk? CL.
After the road edge.
Yeah. And a description. The description for or full description. But you have the point CL. Yes, don't worry. But once you have it, that's enough. So Okay, no problem. But you have CL, the point called, okay, with a dollar sign. Okay, but you have the point called, the point with code CL. Okay, that is what we want. So please, can we continue? So it means that we are ready. So now you can please click on OK. So please click on OK. Have we clicked on OK?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you have, now we are going to create our surface. We have our surface data, or the point that we need to create our surface. So we are going to create our surface. Now, if you look at under prospector, after points, there's point group, then the next is what?
Surfaces.
Okay, there's point cloud, there's surfaces. We are going to use surface. So right click on surfaces. Please look up here also. Under on the ribbon, create ground data. Can you see surfaces?
Yes.
So you can equally also do it here. When you click on the drop down, you can create surface, or you come here, right click, create surface. Please, are we okay? So create whichever you want to use, create surface. Please, are we all here? Okay, so let's give our surface a name. You see, there are two columns. There's properties and there's value. So information, name. There's a default value name there. So let's click on it and change it. Maybe existing ground or whatever, the name you want to call it. Existing ground, or some will call it EGL or whatever. I normally call it a DTM, whatever name you want to use as your ground level. I mean your surface. I am calling mine DTM, but I'm not saying call yours DTM. You can give it any name. The name of your surface. Please, are we okay? Sometimes we have a number of surfaces. Let's assume that the first data that was picked, or the first surface you are creating is, let's say, the existing ground. Then they will do some work, maybe put some materials, data will be picked, and that level is maybe formation level. You understand? So in that case, your surface name, you may call it a formation level. At another time, they will come and work, then maybe they will put subbase there. They will pick the data, then you create another surface, you call it subbase. Please, are we getting it? So for this particular one, this is the existing ground. I mean, the ground as we have it. So I'm calling it DTM, or whatever name you have chosen. You can also. So let's leave everything as it is. Then please click on OK. What happens when you click on OK? Please, what happens when you click on OK? Nothing happens.
Down.
Okay, and the surfaces, you see that there's a plus attached to surface, means that you have some things under it. So go click on the plus and you should have the surface that you created, DTM. Please, do you have it there? Yes, but it's empty. You've created the file name, the name, alright, but we are here to add data to it. So we are now going to add data to it. Please, are we okay? So double click on DTM or click on the plus. When you click on the plus attached to your surface, can you see definition? Also open it up, click the plus by definition. So do we have this? Please look up. Do we all have this? So which of these do you think we are going to use to create our surface? Which of these components? Is it boundary, draw, point groups? Very good. So click on point group, then add. You right click point groups, then add. Please, have you done that? When you right click, don't double click. Right click point groups and add. When you click on add, these are the available point groups. So which of these point groups are we going to use? Yes, so you select surface point, then you please click on OK and tell me what happens. Tell me what happens. So you have your contours. So please, who is not having his contour showing? Do you have it? Oh, but do you have it? Ahmad, do you have it? Dominic, you have it? You have. Okay, very good. So it means that we are all together. That's good. But those at the back, haven't been able to do this. You have it. I mean, those behind, haven't been able to do the installation. So you are with us. Okay, I should continue. Okay. Okay, so please, So now we have our contours. We have our contour showing. Now you have it showing this way because of the template that I've given you. If, for example, we were to use the default AutoCAD template, when you create a surface, what you see will be maybe just the boundary. Then you have to tell it to show also the contours, but everything is there. Once you have created a surface, whether something shows or not, what you want to show or what you want to see is just a matter of buttons or the style, which is left to you. So now let's I want to show you something. Now if, for example, this road is an existing road. It's not a gravel road. It's not just a bare ground. No, this road is an existing road, also with center line. Now there is something I want to show you, which it's called break lines. Break lines. Now the contours, it has created the contours based on what we call triangulation. It has put the points together. Now let's try and see if we can see the triangles. Then so please click on the surface that you have created. Click on any of the contours. Have you clicked on it? Now please watch something. When you click, observe the ribbon. When you click on the surface, do you see something? Do you see that it has changed? The ribbon has changed. So here it has changed for you to do modification or to add on or something. Now what we are going to do is we want to see the surface style. So under surface properties, please put your cursor on surface properties. You see that there are two buttons. Though they are all under surface properties, there are two. Can you see it? Surface property. There's one on top, like is there a pentagon or something with? That is the surface properties itself. The down one gives you an option whether you also want to show, maybe it's not the properties but the style that you are interested in. Please, are you okay? Please, can we continue? What we want to do is the style. We want to see the triangles. So click on the drop down, or you can click on it and right click. There are three options. You can maybe even four. You right click, then can you see edit surface style? When you right click, please click on the surface, right click, and can you see edit surface style? Good. So you can also click there and you get where we are all going. Or the surface that you have here, please watch on the screen the surface, and the surface that you have created. You can also right click on it and you see edit surface style. Please, are we okay? Are you not okay? So click, I'm saying that click on the surface. So click on the surface. When you click on the surface, we want to open or activate the edit surface style command. And I'm saying that there are about three options. One is on the ribbon. If you select your surface, go to the ribbon, then under modify you see surface properties. There's a drop down just by surface properties. Click the drop down and you can select edit surface style. Please, are we okay? Or you can right click. When you select the surface, you can also right click and you see edit surface style. Can you see it? Please, can you see it? Very good. Or you can go to under prospector, the surface that you have created. You can select it, right click on it, then you see edit surface style. Please, are we okay? So whichever one is convenient with you, just select and let's go to edit surface style. So how many of us are here or who is not here? So edit surface style. I give you three options. Please, are we all here? Edit surface style. Are you there? Edit surface style. The tab is different. Yes, okay. Maybe it was at information. So, but what you have at the top there, surface style. That's what I want. Surface style. Please, do we have surface style? Okay, so please, can we continue? And you realize that this environment is familiar. I told you that some of the things almost everywhere you may be seeing them. the visible, the layer, and the others, they are all here. Now I said we want to see the triangle, so it's turn off. Under display, turn the triangles on. Please turn the triangles on. Now what we are doing is just for you to understand the break lines. Once you understand it, you don't necessarily have to turn it on to do what we are going to do. So please, triangle is, if it's on, please click on OK. Okay, let's turn triangles on and the contours off. Or you can leave the contours as they are and click on OK. So you should have something like this. Please, do you have something like this? Do you have your contours, the triangles? Please, do you have it? And please, I want you to oh, why is it BD? Oh, see what I did? I did not use the surface data. I used kilometer 0 to 5. Let me, okay, remove it. Okay. Now you realize that the triangles, does it connect every point? Does it connect every point? If it connects every point, then you are wrong somewhere. You do not use the surface data or the surface point. Does it connect every point?
No.
The buildings, are the buildings included? You remember that we created a point group by name, a surface point or whatever, and that is the one that we are using to build our surface. Please, are we okay? So if yours is connecting every point, then you please have to redo it, delete and redo. Please, are we all here? Okay, so you realize that the points the triangles are not connected to every point. Now the triangles have been used to be able to generate what? The contours. The contours are, they are whole normal values for the elevation. So that if, for example, let's take a ground, which one can we use? Okay, let's take this triangle. This point is 324. This point, okay, 324.0. This is all 324.1. This point is what? 327 point something. So it means that this elevation, what is it? 325 or something. This, so 325. It's no between 324 and 327. You can get a 325 somewhere. So if you recall it, if you did survey, so the contours basically has connected points with what? Equal elevation. So it means that there's 325 here, there, and connected it to form this contour line. But the foundation is a triangle. So if you have a problem with your point, automatically to affect the triangle, and then also will affect what? The surface, the contours. Please, are we okay? I want us to do something. Let's go to a common point. Please, let's all go to this point. I don't know if you can see it, but it's towards the beginning. Please, are you there? The elevation is 337.4 here. This one. Please, are you there? Even if you are not there, what you can try it anywhere. Now, what we are going to do is that we are going to assume that this value, when the surveyor was inputting it in the Excel, instead of 337.4, he typed 33.74. You understand? And let's see what will happen here. Please, are we okay? So what I want you to do is that click on this. Click on the point. Have you clicked on it? And go to edit or / list point. Edit, or you can also right click. You see edit points there. You have something like this. Do you have this? What we are just trying to, if for example you have a bad point, How do you know that at that point there's a problem there? Please, are we all there? Pardon? Then maybe you clicked on a point group. Just click on edit or list point, not point group properties. No, it should be only one. It should be only one. Just select this point. If you can see where I am, please select it. Then I said you can right click also. If you select right click, edit point, you should have only one. Only one. If you select point group, that is where you have everything showing. Only that point. Please, Amma, do you have it? So I've been able to do it. Okay, so what we are going to do is that the elevation. Edit point. Have you been able to do it? So do you have this? So what we are going to do is that we are going to just assume, it's an assumption, that let's assume that the elevation, instead of 337.4 or whatever elevation you have, the decimal comes after the second number, so it's 33.74. So just edit, click on point elevation and edit it to 33.7. That's 3.74. Please, are you okay? Okay, so when you finish, there is this check box or this green check. This one. Yeah. So click on it. That means that you dismiss the vista, or this whole thing closes, or it means you have accepted it. Please, have you done it? Please, have you done it? If you have, now tell me, do you see an out of date or outdated icon by the DTM or the surface you created? Do you see a yellow symbol? Please, do you see a yellow symbol? Yeah, what it means is that your surface is out of date. You have to update it. Pardon? Who is lost, please? Amma, you are lost. Who again is lost? You are also lost. Okay, then please, I'm going back. Please observe what I'm doing. Let's all do it together. I'm saying that, let me undo. Okay, now we are working, please watch. We are working with this point. The elevation is 337.4. Actually, you can deal with any, for uniformity's sake, that's why we are using 337.4. If you want to use any point, fine, no problem. We are just assuming that this point, the surveyor made a mistake. Instead of typing 337.4, he typed, let's say, 33.7 or 3374. The decimal value, was positioned somewhere not appropriate. Please, are we okay? Yes. So we want to edit. We could have even done it in the Excel before importing it here. We understand, but that would be a long process. At least you understand how to import. So we are assuming we just want to change the value here, with the assumption that if you have it wrongly inputted in Excel and you import it, you still can edit and change it. Please, are we okay? So click on this, then right click, edit points. Edit points. Are we all here? Yes. Please, so if you are all here, you see that there are number of columns. You have point number, eastern, northern, point elevation. Can you see the value there? 337.4. I'm saying that change the decimal position so that you have it 33.74. 33.74. When you finish, you can enter or click outside. 33.74. So who is lost again? Those who are lost. Have you been found? Okay. So please, are we all together? Okay, so I'm saying that when you finish, there's this green checkbox at the top. Just click on it to dismiss this vista or this panorama. Are you okay? So click on it, then it will go. Have you clicked on it? Don't worry, just check it again. So use this one to check it. Okay. So I'm saying that when you do it, you realize that there is an out of date symbol before your surface, the surface that you created. It's yellow. Can you see it? I mean, this yellow with caution means out of date. You will not only see it here. Wherever there's an opportunity for regeneration, if it is out of date, you see the symbol. They're telling you that you have to update it. Please, are we okay? Please, can we continue?
Yeah.
Good. Now we are going to update it. Now AutoCAD Civil 3D for the surface update. Please right click on your surface, and you see you have rebuild and rebuild automatic. Can you see them? There's rebuild and rebuild automatic. Now rebuild automatic means that we will not need to come and rebuild again. Once we do an editing, automatically it will update itself. Please, are we okay? But the disadvantage with the rebuild automatic is that if you are dealing with a large file, the moment you touch, it has to rebuild. Maybe you want to do a number of editing before you rebuild. Please, are we okay? So we will leave it at the manual. So the manual rebuild means that anytime it's out of date, it will warn you, then you come and rebuild. So click on rebuild. And let's see, you should have something like this. Please, do you have something like this? No, right click on the surface and rebuild. The surface you create, I don't know the name, I've called my DTM. Then rebuild. Please, do you have something like this? You have all the contours closely packed together. Please, who is not having this? Do you have it? So we all have it. And as we were taught, if contours are, how do we call it, closely spaced, or if they are packed together, that means that it's steep. If they are wide apart, that means that it's also hot, almost flat. Now, once you see contours closely packed together like this, and you know that that place is not an escarpment, then it should tell you that there's a problem somewhere. Please, are you okay? It should tell that there is a problem somewhere. And finally, for us, we can see the elevation that is 33.74 instead of 337.4. Please, are we okay? So we can go and change it, and we'll be where we were. So go back and change it from 337.4 to 33.74 to 337.4. Go and change the elevation. Click on it again. The point, or you click on the point, right click, edit point, and instead of 33.7, make it 337.4. When you finish, you go and rebuild again. Please, are we all there? Good. So now if you have, the same value, the same point. Is it the same point that you are working with? Maybe it's a different point. Please, are you okay? Okay, now this is one option to do such a correction. Please, are you okay? This is one option. That is if you are sure of the elevation of that point. Sometimes you may not be sure. So what do? You have to ignore that point. So one is either you may want to delete that point, or you can tell AutoCAD Civil 3D that in building the surface, any point that it sees with elevation below a certain value, you should ignore it. Or elevation above a certain value, you should also ignore it. Please, are we okay? So we are going to try that one. The deletion there, you can just click and delete. That's very simple. And rebuild. But how do you, do the boundary in terms of minimum and maximum? So let's go back and change the value to 33.7 again. Edit point, elevation. This time I think we are champions. 33.7. So we have 33.7 this way, then you rebuild, and let's see how it looks like. It's bad. So please, can I continue? 33.74. Any problem?
No problem.
Okay, so this is where we were. I'm saying that 250, okay. I'm saying that AutoCAD Civil 3D has this facility whereby you can have like a range. You can have a minimum value or a maximum value, below above which it will ignore the elevations. So we are going to tell AutoCAD Civil 3D that is why it is good that you also visit the site to have an idea of the terrain. Now this particular area is towards Mampong area. That's why you have elevations in the ranges of 300. Please, are you okay? But at a point it rises up, but I think the minimum, we can assume that, let's say the minimum elevation is, let's say 200, for example. So we are going to tell it that any value that it sees below 200 meters, it should forget, it should not use it. Though the point is there, we have not edited the point, you will see the point, but it should not use that point in building the surface. Please, are we okay? Any question? Okay, so what I want you to do is go to your surface, right click on it, and surface properties. I've shown you that there are 3 ways. You can click on the surface, right click, you get surface properties, or you come here, right click on your surface, and you have surface properties. Please, do you have this surface properties? You should have this window open for you. Please, do you have it? Who is not having it, please? Okay, you are under definition, yes, but do you have this window? Good, that's what I want. Now you have information, then definition. So we are all going to definition. Please, are you under definition? Under definition, you have 3 definition options. There is build, data operations, and what? Okay, so go to build operation. Build operation. Then under build operation, you have the second option is exclude elevations less than. Can you see it? Now it is no. Let's turn it to yes. So it becomes exclude elevations less than is yes. Then the second line is for you to put the value there. So in place of 0, let's put 200. So any value less than 200 will be ignored or will be deleted from the point using which is going to use to build the surface. Please, are we okay? So type 200, then okay. Oh, did I? Okay, though I cancelled. So 200, then okay. When you click on okay, this comes. Do you want to rebuild? Yes, rebuild. This comes, we close it. So you have something like this. Yeah, just click on the green check button, and you should have something like this. Please, who is not having this? Please, do you have it? So you realize that though the point is there, it has been ignored. You see, it has been ignored. The other ground levels have been used. So it's almost the same as deleting it. Please, are you okay? It's almost the same as deleting it, but sometimes you may want to leave it as it is, because you may be waiting maybe to go to site. Because now, look at what is happening here. It means that for this whole area, we have only 3 points. For this whole area, we only have 3 points being used to develop a surface here. It means that the surface that we are going to have here will be very poor. You understand? So maybe you may want to go back to field and pick additional information here or something. Please, are we okay? Very good. Can we continue? Okay, so Now we can still continue. Let's continue from here, or we can go back to the beginning and make everything right, but let's continue from here. So we're going to do break lines. Now where is the road? Now you realize that, let's take for example here. The road. I want a classic example. The road. I want to get a classic example so you appreciate what I'm saying. Good. Now, if you please look up here, you realize that in doing the triangulation, you have a point from a ground level being connected to maybe to this road edge. You understand? A ground level, for example, if you have a road on an embankment, it means that in the triangulation it has connected a point from the ground to one road edge. But we don't want that to happen, because what happens is that then you will not have the road appearing as it ought to. So we want the triangulation for the road to be confined to the road. You understand? We don't want a point from a road to cross, maybe to connect to a ground level or something. When it happens like that, you will not have a perfect existing road profile. Please, are we okay? So what we are going to do is that we are going to add the road edges as break lines. The road edges and the center line as break lines. Can I continue? Now, before I continue, I want us still to appreciate what I'm saying. I wonder if we cannot get to this particular area. Or let me see, anywhere. So what I want you to do for me, please, is that you I want you to draw. We just want to cut a cross section across our road, and see how the profile looks like, or the cross section looks like. And when we do the break line, we'll see if there will be any change, so that you appreciate what I'm saying. Are we okay? Can see some of you are weak. We have 1 hour more to go. It's now 3-1. It's now 3-1.
Okay.
Yes. Pardon? Yes, then we use 30 minutes to recap. It's now 3-1. So let's quickly, we can create a surface. All that we are doing is encomious. Just trying to add on. So can we continue? Good. So we are going to create what we call quick profile. A quick profile. Anywhere we may not be able to pick the same location, but anywhere, just draw a line. I'm sure we can all draw lines in AutoCAD. Just type L for line, L, enter, and draw a line anywhere across the road. Let's say somewhere here. Can we all do this in AutoCAD? Just draw a simple line across anywhere across the road. Please, who has not been able to do it? Once you have AutoCAD, I'm sure we are familiar, have been able to do it. Good, very simple. So please, what we are going to do is that we are going to divide our screen into two, so that I have two viewports for the model space. Please, are you getting what I'm saying? So that we can see the plan and also the cross section that we are going to do. What we are going to do is just a quick profile. It's a temporary profile. With the moment you save the file, it goes. or if I should delete the line, it also will go. We just want to appreciate what I mean by the break lines, how the break line will have an influence or effect on the surface. So please click on the line that you have drawn. Have you clicked on the line? The line that you've drawn across the surface. Please, have we done it?
Yes, sir.
Now right click on it. Right click and you should see quick profile. Can you see quick profile? But you remember that, I think I have to go back. I said that we are going to do divide the screen into two. So let's do that before we create the quick profile. Some of you may know how to do it, so you can do it. But those who don't know how to do it, we are going to divide our screen into two. So I have one here for the profile. I'm doing so that at least we can zoom in independently. If not, if you have it here, it means that if I move it up, that also will go up, but we don't want it to be like that. So how do I create another view here? There are about two ways, but I'm going to show you the one way. Please go to view. That one is maybe simple, but there's a shortcut here, which, let's see. You go to view. Please, are you there? View. When you go to view, do you see viewport configuration? If you can't see, look up and you see it. Viewport configuration. Somewhere in the middle. Please, there's a drop down. Just click the drop down. Can you see it? Please, can you see it? Go to view. Can you see viewport configuration? Click the drop down. You have two vertical viewport configuration here. Do you have view? Go to view, not home. You see there's home at the top. Then there's view. When you go, you see viewport configuration. Click the drop down, two vertical. View, keep going. You see in the middle, you see viewport configuration. Can you see it?
No, okay,
yeah. So there you can use two vertical or two horizontal. The choice is yours, but for uniformity, let's all use two vertical. So click on it and you see what will happen. Can you see what has happened? Can you see what has happened? Okay. So our plan will be on one side. Then we'll have our profile also. We are going to put our profile maybe somewhere here. Are you getting it? But it's the same. We are working. It's the same drawing file. So it means that if I delete something here, it is gone. The fact that you have two views does not mean that it's a new file altogether. It's the same file, but we are looking at it from different angles. So we can zoom in, zoom out independently. Please, are we okay? Good. So if we are okay, please click on the line. The line that you drew. If you are lost, please look at what I'm doing. Click on the line on the left. We have the plan on the left. Then on the right, we'll put our profile there. So click on the line, right click, then quick profile. Please, are you following? Yes. Quick profile. When you click on quick profile, this is what you have there. Please, are we all here? Yes. Quick profile. Please, are we all here? Yes. Now the profile style, please, I want you to change it. Click on it, the profile style, standard. Click on standard and change it to alignment profile. So you have something like this. Please, do you all have it? Have you been able to change it? Very good. If you have, then please click on OK and watch what I'm going to do. Please watch, then you do likewise. You click on OK. When you click on OK, something comes down here. It says select profile view origin. So we are going to click somewhere where the profile, it will draw the profile for us. Now, please watch, or if you know how to do it, fine, but please watch. You realize that because this window is active, that is why if I put my cursor here, I have it across there. But when I come here, it's just an like the normal cursor sign. If it's like this, that means that you have not activated that viewport. So to activate it, you click, then see that it changes to this, the cross. Please, are you seeing it? You just watch and you do likewise. If I come back, you see that it is the normal arrowhead. If I click inside, it becomes a cross. But I'm coming to put it here, so I click here. Then I can zoom in, zoom out to be sure that where I'm going, that is going to be the origin. Meaning that if for example I click here, it will draw the profile using here as the origin. So the profile will be somewhere here. Please, are we getting it? So if I come and click, it means that will cross the road. So you go and click somewhere where it will not interfere with your plan. So let's assume, please watch, or let's assume I want it to be here. So I come and click here. Then I have something here. So I can zoom in. Please, have you been able to do it? Or I have done it. So can you do it? I should go over. Okay, so I'm going over. Those who can do it too, you can try. I was saying that you click on the line, right click, quick profile, then change the profile style from standard to alignment. Okay, okay. Then the second viewport that you have here, I come and click somewhere here as the origin, close this one, and I can zoom in to see how it looks like. Please, have you been able to do it? Very simple. Have you been able to do it? Successful? My brother, successful. Good. Now I want you to please observe something. You see that it is dynamic in the sense that try to move the line. So zoom in to have your section on one side and your plan on one side. Now move the line and see what will happen to your cross section. What happens to it? It also changes. You understand? It changes as, so just try to do something and see how it looks like. So please, are we all together? Very, very simple. So now I was saying that we are going to use our road edges, the road edges and the center line as break lines. Please, are we okay? We are going to use the road edges and the center line as break lines so that we'll be able to refine. Because if you look at what is happening here, it could be that there's something wrong somewhere here. Because you cannot have a road like this. It's likely maybe this one ought to go straight or something. But we can see that this place is like in an embankment. I mean, in a cut. Okay. So we are going to use our center line and our road edges as break lines. What I want you to do for me is that please let's turn off the triangles so that we can see the road edges and the center line, because it appears it has covered almost everything. So click on your contour, either the contour or the triangles, then you right click, edit surface style, and turn the triangle off. So you should have something like this, just your contour showing. Please, do you all have it? Please, do you all have it? Okay, so quickly let's add the road edges as break lines. Then we also try and label the contours and try and see if we can also change the contour intervals. Then we'll be through with the the surface. There are so many things we can do with the surface. Maybe tomorrow, as a recap, we'll try and see if we can recap where we ended and build upon it. Please, are we okay? Very good. So please click on the the road edge. Click on the road edge and the center line, any two of them. Click on two of them. It's supposed to be connected all the way to the end, but because the data were imported differently, there may be breakage here and there. But you just click on two of them, one edge and one center line. Please, have you done it? Then right click and you should see select similar. Have you seen select similar? So click on select similar and it will select the rest for you, the other edges and center line for you. Please, have you done it? Can we continue? Now what we are going to do is that we are going to show only what we have selected. So we are going to hide the rest, so that, because in adding them to the surface, we will have to select. added them to the service as break line, we have to select. So what I want you to do is that if you have selected them, I want you to right click. And when right click, you see isolate object. Can you see? Then it says that what? Isolate selected objects. So click on it. Isolate selected object. Have you clicked on it? Yeah. And you should see that what you have is only what? The road edges and the center line. If you have something more than that, then you have not done it right. Please, do you have it? Amma, you are not there. Please, I was saying that select any of the edges, either the left or the right, and the center line. Then you right click, select similar. When you finish, you right click again, then you see isolate objects. Yes, select just the line, the edges. Select the road edges and the center line. Maybe you have selected something more than that. The center line and the edge, the road edges. Then right click, select similar. Successful. Please, can we continue? Amma, successful. Okay, so you have only the edges and the center line showing. The rest are all hidden. So, can we continue? I can see that we are tired, but let's finish well. We just have about 50 minutes to finish. Then you also try from beginning to the end. Today? Yes, today. No, tomorrow you forget. Well, today. Yes, I know you will forget. So, because when the ideal thing is that when you go home, you have to practice. But most of you may be family people. When you go home, children and wife will not, or husband will not allow you to practice. So we'll do the practice here, just 30 minutes practice. Then when we come tomorrow, we'll still try. So please, do we all have this? Yes. Good. So what we are going to do is that now, under definitions for the survey, can you see break lines? Yes. Please, can you see break lines? Yes. Right click on break lines and add. Break lines and add. Then when you add, let's give it a name. Let's call it maybe road RD or road edge. The description, just put a name there and just click on OK. Click on OK. The out of this sign may come if it no, it's telling us to do select objects. Can you see it? Yeah. On the command line, you see select object. You see that the cursor has changed to a square, a small square. So now zoom out so that you can see all your all your objects. Then draw a window around it to select everything, like what I have done. Zoom out. Zoom out means make it smaller. If you scroll down, if you have a mouse and you scroll down, it zooms out. If you scroll in, it zooms in. Then you draw a window. To draw the window, some people, when they are drawing the window, they drag it. No, don't drag it. Just click one edge, open, then come and click the other edge. Back. Okay, when we finish this one, we'll go back. Please, who has not been able to do it? You've done it. Successful. You've done it. Okay. You have. Okay. Have you been able to do it now? Okay. So if you have selected, please watch the command line. If you have selected something, to tell that a number of something has been found. Yeah. What do you have there? 15. Good. I also have 15 total. Maybe some of you may have less. Those who are using just 2 files, maybe you have less. But you've been able to select. Yeah. Okay. So you don't have one. No. Go to break lines. Right click on break lines. Add. Put your name there. Okay, you don't want. Let's do it again. Then come and click on OK. Then come and draw a window around it. Then right click. So please, if you have finished, just right click and tell me what happens. What happens? Okay, but if you right click, something has happened, but you remember that we have isolated only the edges, the contours, nothing is showing. So let's end isolation. Are we okay? So that we'll go back to the beginning. So where are you? Have you been able to do the isolation?
I've selected.
Oh, but I've not been able to do the isolation. Okay, so watch what we are going to do. If you want to end the isolation, right click anywhere, then you see isolate object. Can you see it? Then end isolation, end object isolation. So for you, you are now going to isolate. So you will select isolate object. Have you gotten it? You will right click anywhere. The rest of us end isolation, but for Amma, right click anywhere. Have you selected all? Have you selected the edges?
I got some errors.
Okay, no problem. When we are recapping, I will come there. So let's end isolation. End object isolation. So you see that now you remember there was a problem here. You remember for mine, there was a spike here, but you see when I did the break line, now it appears that maybe this is the edge and maybe this is a ditch or something, I don't know. Please, are you getting it? So that's why it's important you add the road as break line. If not, a point from a ground level may be connected to road, and it means that your profile will not be accurate. Please, are we okay? Are we okay up to this point? Okay, so Amma, please take note where you will get lost. We are going to add another one, and that will be the end. What we are going to do now is the labeling. We are going to label the contours, and also maybe change the contour intervals. So just take note of that you got lost at break lines. And what again? Only that one. Okay, okay, still under break line. So please, can we all finish hard or finish well? Okay. Any problem? Please, any problem? No problem, because we are tired. Okay, so we are going to label our contours. Some softwares, the moment you create your contour, automatically you can have your labels also maybe at the end or at the center. But AutoCAD Civil 3, as I told you, it's almost like a white sheet. I mean, there's almost nothing there. It's always waiting for you, because your style may differ from my style. You may not necessarily want it in the center or at the edge. You may want it somewhere else. So we are going to label it. Now, every labeling AutoCAD Civil 3D, labeling or dimensioning, just like AutoCAD, you find it under what? Annotate. So what we are going to do is an annotation. The elevation is already there. We are just going to annotate for it to show that this is the elevation, maybe 2.4 or something. So that's what we are going to do. Please, are we okay? Very good. So please go to annotate. Maybe you were under view. Let's go to annotate. Annotate. So Amma, please continue with us. Annotate. Under annotation, can you see add labels? The first button, add labels. Can you see it? You see that there are two buttons. There's one on top and there's one at the bottom. I mean, basically they are the same, but let's use the one at the top. So click the one at the top, and you have something like this coming. Add labels. Please, do you all have this? Please, Amma, do you have it? You have it. Okay, so this is what we are going to use to add labels. Not only for not only for the surface, but for other components. If you want to annotate, you may need this. Now, do you see that the first one is features? Can you see it?
Yes.
And so click the drop down. Which feature do you think we are going to select? There are a number of features. Which one are we working on now?
Okay.
So we select surface. Please, are you okay? Then the label type. Click on the drop down. Which of them we are going to annotate contours? Which of them are we going to select?
Multiple.
Okay, contour multiple. So let's select that one. When you select that one, you should have something like this. You should have major contour label, major label, minor label, and none. Please, do we all have this?
Yes.
Good. If we have this, that means that we are ready to label our contours. We are ready to label our contours. So please click on add. Can you see the add button? Click on add. When you click on add, what comes at the command line? Can you read it? What you see, the mine is blurred. Specify first point or what? Object. We are going to try both. We'll try specify first point and also try object. Now, the specify first point means that it is. Can you see that the cursor has changed to a cross? Anytime the cursor is a cross, like a full cross, that means that it is waiting for you to draw something. It is waiting for you to draw something. So now what is actually waiting for you is to draw a line. Wherever the line will cross a contour, a label will appear there. So just observe what I'm doing. If I draw a line crossing this, can you see the labels coming? Can you see it coming? So you try it and see. Please, any problem? So we can use the specify point, and we can draw. Please, can we do it? Those at the back, Dominic and his team. Successful? That's frozen. Oh. Which recap? Yes, I'll recap. Pardon. This one, we'll do it again. But I haven't been able to do it. Okay, so please, I'm repeating. So it's your machine back. But I hope you have saved. Please make sure you have saved all that you are doing. If not, you have to go and start from beginning.
No.
Okay, so I'm going to delete what I've done. I'll select any of the contour label, then I will delete. So what I said you should do is that go to annotate. Are you there? Go to annotate. Then add labels. There are two buttons. Click the top one. This will come. Then the feature, we select what? Surface. Is that not it? Surface. Then the label type, we select contour multiple. Then this comes. When it comes, just select add. When you click on add, you see that the cursor has changed, waiting for you to, it says specify first point or object. For now, we are going to use the first option, specify first point. So what you have there, just draw a line across any of the contours. You see the labels appearing. Please, Amma, do you have it? Has it come? It has come. So the labels are coming. Now you realize that, for example, if you have a road, say 100 kilometers, are you going to do this all the way to the end? 100 kilometers, it will be a lot of work. You understand? It will be a lot of work. So that is why there is this option, object. So that if you have an object which also maybe spans all the way from beginning to the end, you can use that object in place of what? The specify first point. Please, are you okay? So normally what I do is that I will not label it at this stage. I'll wait, do my center line. When I do my center line, I will create a copy of the center line to one side. I'll offset the center line, create a copy of it to one side, and use that to do the annotation from beginning to the end. So let's try that one and see. Let's assume that what I want you to do for me is that just type let's say PL for polyline. PL polyline. Just type PL, enter. PL, enter. Have you done it? And let's try to draw an arbitrary let's say alignment from beginning all the way to the end, or even if you are not able to get to the end, maybe midway, anywhere. Just something, may not be very perfect, but you do something. You understand what I'm saying. So I've done something from beginning to the end. Do you have something like what I've done? Polyline all the way from beginning to the end. Don't worry about the perfectness, but you have something. That's the object that we are going to use. Dominic, successful. Successful. What about you? Successful. But you've been able to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Just draw a polyline from beginning to the end, and let's assume that's what we are going to use as the object. Please, can we continue? Let's 2 minutes for it to be 3:30, then we will do the homework or the classwork. Please, can we continue? Let's end well. Please, can we continue? Okay, so go back to the add labels. This time when we click on add and the option comes for us to specify first point or object, just click on object. Depending on the version of AutoCAD you are using, maybe it may not allow you to click, so you just type O and enter. So if you are using a lower, maybe 2013, I don't know, but if 2013 allows this, but if it doesn't allow, just click on object or type O and enter. Please, when you so that's where we are now. I'm saying I come back. It used to have the add labels.
Yes.
So just come back and click on add. Yes, add. When you click on add, specify first point or object. You have it.
Yes.
Then click on object. You see, if you put your cursor on it and you have a human hand, that means you can click. You have it. So click on it.
Yes or no?
What? No, something comes before yes or no. You say what? Erase original entities. Yes or no? So yes. So just enter. Then say select what? So now the object, the polyline you drew, go and select it and right click and tell me what has happened.
I should select the polyline.
The polyline that you have drawn and right click, something will happen. Yeah, but yeah, used 2016.
2016, but heading is correct.
I would even prefer that we even remove the year because some of them even have lower versions. So AutoCAD.
Me and only 3D.
Yes.
And designing with AutoCAD Civil 3D.
Yes.
And
But the AutoCAD no one word. Okay. Please, who has not been able to do it? Very simple. Ama, successful. Oh,
It should be yes or no. Which one?
so yes.
Okay.
By default, to be yes, so enter and go and select the object, the polyline you drew, then right click. Please, successful. Successful. Okay, so Dominic, successful. Okay, successful. Okay, Ama, frozen. What about your companion? Successful. Hey. Okay, so now what I want, we are finished. Now what I want us to do now is that please save the work. Save what you have done. Save what you have done. Save what you have done. Yes, save your work. Then create a new drawing file. Create a new drawing file and try to do what you have done today. Now you may not suffer much because you've almost done everything. You are not going to repeat creating figure database and all those things. You have already done it. Let me please show you something. Now let's open this drawing file. If I go to survey, we are still going to repeat. Or no, I will not let you to use the same thing. So please create a new survey database, and I will not let you use what we have already done. It will be the simplest. Just you right click and you insert. That one will be very easy, but I want that to start from the beginning. So please open a new file, then you create a new database. So let me have it here. Yes, I'm just guiding you as to the processes. Some of them, they are almost together, but so this is where I want the questions so that we'll be able to recap. So if you have a question, so you just start. If you have a question, no, it can't be the whole show.